Good evening, everyone. I think we're right at 7 o'clock. We might be a minute early. Welcome, everybody. I see a few people here in the chat already. Go ahead and say hi down there in the chat. And I appreciate you all tuning in to my work here at Odyssey of Ascension. And there's Kevin. Hello, Kevin. Where I'm Roxanne, your host, and what I do is talk about the idea of humanity is one thing, which I named tonight's video, and ascending ideas. And humanity is a great game. I mean, to me, it's the Super Bowl of all games. You know, it is the master class of ascending a species because there's no awareness. And the reason why I wanted to talk about humanity is I looked at something today. I saw a video on YouTube where the city called this guy, he's a YouTuber, and he had like 5.2 million views about him cutting grass. And it's a cool meditation. And he just goes to yards and cleans them up, and he has a great following. But they had 5.2 million views in 9 days or something like that. And it was about a lady that her yard was overgrown, and she's somewhere well into her mid-80s. And the city called her and told her she had to do something about it. And then I looked at that and I was like, wow. We threaten people all the time with violence. First, we do fines. We make laws to appease ourselves. There was another quote from a YouTuber. She was somewhere in the 50s or 60s. And she goes, you are just incredibly delusional if you think your participation in society that there's never going to be an offense, that you will see society make an offense towards you. And this is the humanity I want you to understand. We take an 80-plus-year-old lady, we charge her $240 because the city ordinance says that, because you have these cocksucker fucking asswipes that have no goddamn worth, and the only way they can feel their worthiness is to control, to place limitations, to have a sense. It's a relationship. Pay attention. It's a relationship of more than, and I can feel more than the less than. Since I'm a lawmaker, since I'm part of this, I can exert my power and make this world a better place. This world is not fucked up. There is nothing wrong in the world. There's never been anything wrong in the world. Your childish views, however, show you the experience of polarity, right, wrong, good and bad, pain, suffering, the whole thing. So here's this guy, this YouTuber, goes over and does it for free because he has humanity. He didn't do it for charity. He had charity in his heart, but he didn't look at her as a charitable idea. This was an internal relationship that this guy held within himself. All you have to do is read the vibration of the quality of this YouTuber, and you'll understand charity, or what I call unconditional love. And this guy didn't do it for views. He didn't do it for the idea. He wanted to show what's possible with humanity to be fucking humans. Where is our humanity, as they say? Hello, babe. Hello, Nay. I watched the first episode of Better Call Saul, too. Nay, just wanted to let you know it was great. Anyways, so our humanity... Look, it's a very big thing we've tasked ourselves with. Anyone who is awake, and I don't mean candy ass awake. I don't mean the awake that claim to be awake because they feel they're spiritually important. Who the fuck is spiritually important? Nobody. The Christ conscious was no better than the other 13 Christ conscious possibility that were born. It was just this one that made it to the top because of a guy named Constantine found a book that's 400 fucking years old, and his pagan mom had too much control and he didn't like it because he has a dick. And he put out, we have Christianity. There we go. That's it. There's no one special on this earth. There's no one better than the other. So you got these awake that are dividing themselves of I'm this and I'm that and I'm here too and I'm this. And that's the key. They're dividing themselves. Good evening, Smitty. We're dividing ourselves. Hello, Kevin. That's what we do. So it's not what other people do. It's about what you do. A representation, a possibility of creation is what's represented every day on this planet. You're going to see what power is going to be when Trump takes office tomorrow. You're going to see what representation he can offer the world. You're going to see all the changes of representation, power, perceived power, enforced through violence, laws. You're born into the United States, you're born into a country, and for some reason, you have to go ahead and follow their rules. Because that's the way civilized society behaves. So what about you now? See, I can sit here all night and tell you everything that's wrong with humans. But then I would be representing what's already been done. We already know humanity through a polarized scope is fucked up. We already know it's great. There's great things out there. There's great technology. But there's no clean technology. It's always got an angle on it, doesn't it? Everything has got an angle on it. Everything's got something behind it. Because it's divided. So instead of worrying about what's going on with humanity, what's going on with you? And that's the work. See, it's not fixing the world by dieting. It's not putting out positive energy and wishing the best for the world. Prayers, positive energy, global meditation, that doesn't change anything. What that does is it reinforces what you already know. Because if you're from one approach wanting to change to another approach, then you're dividing yourself from the person, or i.e. the world is, and you want to get it to there. Why? Why do you have to make it happen? You need to get you there. See, that's the mastery. Last week I was on a high. I got this extremely great insight. Blew myself away. My Wednesday's classes, I had one of the best channelings I've ever had. Epic fucking information. Blew my socks off. And then a couple of days ago, I found some parts of me. Ugly parts. Pain, depression, suffering inside of me. See, it was a reality that I managed throughout my life because that's what was represented and that's how I interpreted the world. That doesn't lie in the world. The world is neutral. It is unconditional. It is unassigned until I assign it. And since I assigned the world, the situations that I was in, defined situations, it started this tumble effect, this domino effect of these tumbling dominoes. I think I can put those two together. Tumbling and domino effect that led to a very painful place inside of me. And I know what to do about it. See, I don't fix things. And see, that's part of the mastery. You got to understand that. See, you don't fix the perceived problem. See, that's humanity. That's been represented. We fix problems by laws, by violence, negotiation, talking people into the right thing to do. You know, that's how we manage our world. We go to work every day, enslaved to our fucking money. We have all the ideas. See, here, let's externalize it. We have enough food to feed everyone in the world. We have enough space on the planet. Everyone gets their own house. We have enough ways to create electricity, but it's not what everyone wants because it's the wrong electricity, because it pollutes the atmosphere. You're right. It does. But we don't have a better system. And I guarantee you the oil companies will be investing in windmills if it was a better system, but it's not. Now, electric, how deep do we want to keep digging? How many kids do we need to enslave to keep digging to get this material out of the ground? It's not a better way. We don't have a solution. But we do have one thing we can do. We can unite. See, I can't fix human, but I can fix myself because I saw the broken part of me. There was a divided part inside my head. That's where my mastery lies. I'm wondering if you guys have enough courage to look at yourself and see the division that you hold against the mirror, against another, against yourself, judgment, regret, guilt, envy, comparison, control. See, these are the relationships that create a reality. The obsession of humanity to create an escape from the planet, to create a better world, a manifested world of peace and quiet, serenity is an illusion. You're never going to create those because you're not a creator. The human is a not God, doesn't know it's God, doesn't know how to create as a God, but what it does know is how to interpret through a scope of division. A good, a bad, an up and down, a yes and no, a me and you. And every day you see the division, every single day. But it doesn't lie outside. It lies in you. So the mastery of this job that you've all chosen to volunteer for is to ascend a species. And I'm talking to the ones that are awake, that realize that I'm not here for a purpose and I'm not going to solve the world's problems and I'm not this idea. I don't want you to give yourself another fucking identity. I want you to be okay as just a plain Jane, run-of-the-mill God that you are that doesn't need any decorations, resume, or proof of his existence is worthy. Because that's already proven. Because I am is present. So how about you look at this? What am I dividing with myself? So I divided me. I had fear, I had anxiety, and I got upset because of the way the world runs. I don't like it, but I can't change that. But what I can change is the way I feel about the world. The way I feel, look at humanity and see how we fuck each other over yesterday. Yeah, yesterday, every day. How we do stuff to each other. It's horrible. But it's not horrible from the unconditional point of view. But it does hurt me. Why do we do this? Because we have no self-worth. We gain our worthiness through pains of other, through control of other. You see all the Karens and the Brads out in the, or quote, male Karens, out in the world just putting their nose in business is because they all of a sudden got some control and they never felt worthy, so they had choice to exert their power. And they want to cause trouble so they can feel the value. That's all it is so they can matter. So if you are ever trying to make yourself matter in the eyes of another, then you got to look at yourself and know that your worthiness is your existence is already fulfilled. Any amount of worthiness you can get from your emotional fulfillment, and that's all it is to get your next high. Trolls come in here, on YouTube and say their fucking bullshit so they can feel good, get a rise out of somebody. I represent something people don't like, but I'm not going to shy away from what I am. Then there's no change. Can you imagine if we all kept on trying to be what we're supposed to be, the perfect little person? What a fucking painful reality that would be. Trying to always adjust yourself. Oh, I'm sorry, you've probably already done it. I bet you do it every day with your spouse, with your kids, with your work. You adjust your persona into a personality of conforming. You take your own beliefs that you learned from your parents and you're running them today as a way to create and control your reality. You have someone that you love in your life, and you divide against them because of your old belief systems. How can you do that? That's not a God, that's a human. That's a fucking human. And I'm speaking to gods right now. Eternal, unconditional love creators. They're not here to love emotionally, but to discover themselves and fall in love with themselves unconditionally and allow the unknown God to bear its light upon the reflection of humanity so it may know each other, know itself, and allow other people to know themselves and unify this reality. Welcome, Kendra. And unify this reality. It needs to be represented. But you can't go out and put out ideas of what you think unity is. You can't tell another how to behave. That's the most ludicrous thing you can do because they're going to defend against it. And that's feeding their ego of division. Because you telling someone they're doing it wrong. Ludicrous. But that's human. You have to be mature enough to see it within yourself. You have to notice the division. You have to recognize the division and have the courage and the maturity to transcend that belief system and allow yourself to perceive reality in a new unconditional context, a scope of perception that gives no division. And then you can see the world around you. What you found valuable and needy and must and responsible and obligated falls away. And then there's only one thing, this wonderful thing, the slipstream. Oh, it is so gorgeous. It's life flowing through you. You do what you choose in the moment, but life is flowing through you. It comes, it attracts, you interact. You're going to have fears. I have fears about my future because my mind thinks that way. I was ingrained to think that way. Those are belief systems that gives me a perception of the future. The things that I've lived with all my life that are concerns, money, future, health, all the things that you're supposed to have. We made it so common to pay. You're welcome, Heather. We made it so common to pay for everything. We pay for everything. Every fucking thing. We pay for TV. We pay for radio to get these ideas. And that's not wrong. I'm not saying those things are wrong. I'm just saying I know there's a better way. And if we were a collective, then we wouldn't be divided in each other and trying to fuck each other over for a better idea, a better life, a perceived better life of money, of monetary, of status, of gain. And it's represented in our politicians and the people of power. And they think, and they think that's life. So that's what we put into place. Do you understand that? We as a collective put these people into place because that's our belief systems on how the world works. We need change. Change comes with self-discovery and expression of the unknown self that doesn't enable the continuing reality of dualistic, of separation. Do you see that? That takes arduous, hard, dedicated, trust, enormous trust in the unknown future. Never to put out your ideas about safety and security, caution. But you have to learn that you're a God and you're never going to fuck yourself over. You're only going to allow the greatest ideas of your evolution in because you've released pushing against reality, dividing yourself against reality. Figure that one out. You got this whipped in the ass. You got it. You got to buy the big hairy balls. Right? You can do that. But you got to understand it's got to be represented. But first, it's got to be recognized. So I do my best. I do my best. I really do. And I still have a judging mind. My mind judges me. It doesn't judge the world. It judges me, which means I'm down to the core belief systems. And I'm going to keep digging and I'm going to keep transcending and I'm going to evolve this idea of human. I'm going to ascend out of humanity, not taking the death route. I'm going to give it my best fucking shot because I want to represent what the truth is behind the experience of humanity. The truth that we're all gods. We're all eternal creators. And we came here to discover a portion of creation that no one else can ever possibly have dreamed up to experience unless it divided itself. Once we didn't know we're gods, then we are subject to the reality that was represented. And our reality represented a divided God, two sides, good and bad, yes and no, us and them. And then we live that way every day. I know our external addictions through sympathy and empathy are very strong emotions. The guilt runs deep. But that's your mastery. I will sit here in pain and suffering for a day and allow the pain to envelop me, allow my guilt to envelop me, and allow my own judgment of my ego shitting all over me because that's what I was taught. Because I want to learn it. I don't want to run from it. I've been running from it all my fucking life. I want to learn it. I want to know every ounce of polarity. I'm going to build the greatest God that I can possibly build in me by allowing these deep, dark parts to penetrate me so I may know them as an evolutionary God. I suggest you do the same. Let's represent what's possible. Let's not represent what we already know, because then we're just in cyclic land. We want change. It's a constant. It's there. But humans dive right back to what they know because it's comfortable, it's safe, and it's secure, and it's something they can rely on. Because the fear of the unknown scares the fuck out of everyone. And don't lie to yourself. We wouldn't have defenses and we wouldn't have all these measures of prevention if we weren't afraid. We are afraid. So find the fear in you. Transcend that fear through your surrender to it. Absorb it, allow it, be it, become it. But just choose not to do anything about it. And to let the flow of consciousness, the slipstream, show you the miracle. Because it's there. It's there. Time. Good. 19 people in here. Guys, I appreciate you so much. I've had a few new subscribers in the last couple of weeks. I appreciate you all coming in here and checking me out. Look, I know one thing about my work. It's a way home. It's not the only way, of course. We all know there's 1,000 ways to climb the fucking mountain. We got that. This path works. And I'm improving it as I go. Pay attention, do your work, become the master of your own kingdom, return to your throne, and create your reality. All right? Thank you so much, guys. Listen, if you ever want to get a hold of me, Odyssey of Ascension, there's a link. Check me out. Thank you, Debbie. Thank you, Language. And from Wendy and Dave. Oh, yeah. Hi, Wendy and Dave. And if you care to donate, don't hesitate to donate. It always supports the channel, and you know us. All right, guys. We'll see you in the next now. And for those of you like me, we're about to get cold. Stay warm. Okay? Good night, everyone. Love you all. Thank you, hon. Thank you, LOL. Thank you, Deb. I love you guys. Thanks, Heather, Kendra. Bye, Kevin. Smitty. Nene. Good night, everyone. Hub, bro. Heart. Good night, everyone. Love you all.